something that somebody mentioned, and I was at the last meeting that I can't recall, that which I see as a big issue for me, and I want to know how you are going to address it and the committee, where somebody suggested that the City Council and the county merge. Because, you know, this committee and your advice here is for the future. This is ring-fencing our whole future. And we're such a small county, and everybody that's working in the city, well, not everybody, but most of the people working in the city are actually living outside the city. The kids from outside the city limits are going to use whatever, the recreation is available. How are you going to address that to the committee? Is that
well? It's an interesting thought that did come up. And I'll tell you this: that doesn't exist in Texas, but it exists in many other states. In fact, that's how Nevada's run, Florida. All of those counties are the entity that manages growth and does all the things. In fact, almost every state has some examples of how that works. But in Texas, we don't. So it would take special legislation. I don't know that it's a bad idea. The fact that a lot of other places around the country do it tells you that there's some merit in that thought. And the fact that you're such a small county, there may be some ability to do that. And I always say never. Even in Texas, you can go to your legislator and your rep and get legislation passed. It's probably too late this time around. But you could get legislation that would allow you to do that. But it would have to, I think, be special legislation, because that's a whole other sort of issue about governing that Texas is not used to.
I can tell you that I've got 32 years plus in municipal government experience, and that relates to city government and relations with county and relations with school district. And I can tell you one thing: that politics in Texas moves like a snowball uphill. To try to make those kinds of gargantuous changes would take years to ever get someone to possibly introduce a bill, form it to a committee, and make it happen. And it would take joint agreement. We would nearly have to be unanimous as a county and a city. I mean, by and large, the people, individual people, to even have a shot at making that work. And so I guess the question is it that important that we want to put all of our eggs in that basket? Because we're going to fight hard to make that happen. It's not going to be, hey, that's a good idea, let's do it. That sounds more like something our gang would do in the old theater when they get together and put on a play. But I don't mean to shoot the idea down. It's interesting in concept, but it's so politically impractical. I don't think it's got a Chinaman's chance in hell. You've got a series of politicians that deal with this. You've got county government is more based on party politics. City government's not. It's based on human interest in their city. I just don't think you've got a chance in the world to make it happen.